What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Master Precision Trading. Thank you for checking in. This video is on the VWAP, volume weighted average price. It's a study and strategy that I use every day to just help me know when something is oversold, overbought, where there is selling pressure, and when there is buying pressure. So we start off by clicking right here at the studies and strategies. Type in VWAP. Funny little name. Add selected, apply. And we can press OK. But before I do that, I want to show you that right here at the setting bar, we can go ahead and customize the inputs and outputs, the deviations, and the time frame. I use the default, which is the day, and here are the deviations. But again, what works for me may not work for you, but you could go ahead and give it a try. It's been working for me for a year. And remember, indicators are just supposed to help you as a guide. You know, you're not supposed to base all your trades just off of indicators and strategies, or indicators and studies. Remember that there's so many more factors, such as what the overall sector is for that stock, how the overall market is it bullish, is it bearish, so we know and we have a better idea on why that stock is moving the way it is. So especially in a bearish market, it's very hard to understand why something is moving the way it is, and if that VWAP is going to actually be consistent with that being the resistance and that being the support. So let's get into it. This top pink VWAP acts as a resistance. This middle purple VWAP acts as a support and a resistance. This bottom VWAP acts as a support. So this is ticker symbol TNDM, and this was the 1 minute 1 day chart for today. And as it opened at market open, right here, this bottom support VWAP, it acted as a support as it was supposed to. Came up here, didn't truly go up to this top resistance, but this was going to be that support. Since it came down to this, or this was going to be that resistance, this purple line was the resistance. So it came down to the support, broke above that resistance, came up here, came back down to the support, came down up here to this resistance. So that led me to believe that since it came up to this top resistance, remember guys, if something breaks support, then that means that is the new resistance. So if this goes below this, if the stock went below that support, then, and it was all the way down here, then right here would be that new resistance. And the same thing right here. So if this was the resistance and it broke above that resistance, then the resistance is now that support. So it broke above that purple VWAP, that middle VWAP, came up here to that resistance, because this is now the support. It broke above that top resistance just for a little bit, came up here, it was overbought, started to sell off, but again guys, came down to that middle VWAP that was acting as a support. Now it was trading in between the middle and top VWAP. Here we have the resistance, here is the support. As we see, it bounced off that purple VWAP, came right here, broke below the support. So what does that tell us, guys? Pause the video and let me know what you think. So right here, if it broke below that support, that leads us to believe that this is the resistance. Came right here, this is the support, got rejected by the resistance. The purple VWAP is now the new resistance, guys. Came back, it didn't, and remember, it doesn't always have to touch that line, it doesn't have to touch this line, it doesn't have to touch this line, but it has to get close, and it gives us a better idea when it gets very close. So it didn't touch this yellow VWAP, the bottom VWAP, but it got close. So here we had that resistance, here we were at that support, it broke above that resistance. So that leads us to believe what, guys? That this purple VWAP is now going to act as a support. It broke above it, went to this resistance, broke above that resistance, and remember guys, that let us know that there was no demand, but it was overbought. So it is going to start doing what, guys? Selling off. And that's exactly what it did. Went down, hit that resistance again, but then it started to sell off, as of course that's what it would typically do in a bearish market as we're approaching the market close. And I'm sorry, this was actually for yesterday on TNDM. But again, we can come over here, see how it acted in the morning. This was the support, this was the resistance. It was bearish, came down, this was the support, it bounced off that yellow line. Here's the resistance, middle VWAP. Got rejected by that, it did not go above that resistance. Came back down, here it is, again at that yellow bottom VWAP, it is the support. Came right here, came back down here, And now it has broken that resistance, so this is going to be that new support level. Came back down. We see how it's moving. This is the support. Here's the resistance. Came up, pushed up. It was very bullish. Broke above this resistance line for a little bit. It was riding it. Came back. Now, in a very, I guess, bullish market, we can say that this was now going to be a new support level, but it wasn't maintaining for too long. So, as we can see, it did confirm that this was a resistance. Came back here. This was a support. Here it is. Broke below that support level. And here we have it coming right here above as we go into the market close. So another cool thing about this VWAP indicator is it gives us a better idea on how our profit margins are looking. So if we know that this is the yellow support VWAP, this is going to be a support and this is going to be a resistance, not saying that it's going to break above this purple line and it will start making higher. We can say that, okay, so if we get in as close as possible to this support level, and again, guys, don't always invest based off of an indicator, but if we had all of our other factors in order and we were going to hop in this trade, knowing that this yellow VWAP has been a support, so if we hop in, let me go ahead and add or draw, because sometimes it doesn't work for some reason. So if we were to hop in around this yellow VWAP line, and knowing that this is the support, we can click on it and see the profit margin or even the profit loss. So from that, around that bottom VWAP to that middle resistance VWAP, we can see that it's about 2% of a gain, which isn't bad. We don't want to be greedy with it. Or even if we didn't get in right there and we got in when it broke above that resistance and we thought it would start pushing up to this top VWAP, we can see that from here to here, we have that 3% gain. Roughly 2.75% gain, and the same thing, we can see the profit margin loss, or profit and loss margin. So again, VWAP, this top line acts as a support or a resistance. Pink band acts as a resistance. This one acts as support or a resistance depending on how it is trading, and this right here acts as a support. Now again, guys, it's not always going to act as a support or it's not always going to act as a resistance because those can be broken, and vice versa. Old resistance, new support. Old support, new resistance. And if we go ahead and add that RSI indicator that I talked about in yesterday's video, if you haven't already checked that out, go ahead and check that out. Lets us know if it's overbought or oversold. Right here, when it pushed above that top resistance VWAP, we can see right here when it went above 70 RSI, it was red. Very overbought. It was going to start selling off. It sold off. Very bearish candle right here. Pushed back up right around that 70 RSI level. Came back down. And what about this support level down here? What could we say? If it was at the support level and knowing that the RSI means if it's at 30 or below or around that 30, it's in a good deal buying range. And knowing that if it's at 70, it's overbought. We don't want to get in something that doesn't have demand. So knowing that if it's near 30, it's a good deal buying range. And so right here around that $32.27 whatever area, we know that right here it hit 31 RSI, 30 RSI. It was in a good deal buying range. So right there, that's what it did. Pumped up, and went on from there. So that's the RSI. This is the VWAP. Don't get those too confused, but go ahead and check the video out if you want to know more about the RSI. These are just indicators that I use every day. I don't solely base my trades based off of indicators, but they are a very good helping hand. It's a good tool. It's a good study that gives us that base. It gives us a guideline, and it's very helpful. So again, it was a bearish market today. Tesla had a great day, but tech was down, and this is what the VWAP was for TNDM for the day. If you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to comment them down below. Email me, Instagram, direct message me. I'm actively posting on there. And again, get TD Ameritrade. This platform is great. It's a very helping hand for me. Even if you don't want to trade on TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim platform, you can use this for all their great tools and trade on your phone with Robinhood or whatever other brokerage that you will be using. But again, I will leave the link to this in the description. I recommend you guys go ahead and grab that. And if you're new to trading, go ahead and open a paper trading account. Start using all these tools, using all these rules and studies that I'm teaching you guys that have been helpful and what has been giving me my successes in the stock market. So like always, guys, I really do appreciate your time. If you have any questions, you know what to do. And like always, take advantage of the time that you have. The market isn't open on Saturday and Sunday. Use that time to study up. Do stuff that you're trying to invest in for your future. Invest in yourself. That's one of the greatest things that you can do. So like always, I really do appreciate your time. And yeah, thank you, traders. Go ahead and turn on post notifications, subscribe, like, all that. I really do appreciate it. And like always, have a great rest of your night, traders. Later.